Hi everyone. In my previous video, I explained what is reserve buoyancy and why ships need it, the theory behind reserve buoyancy. In today's video, I want to show you using an example how to calculate the reserve buoyancy, which is of course part of the ship stability. So we'll take up an example which is slightly long and maybe slightly complicated, but I intentionally want to use this example because I can use this to explain many different concepts. So without wasting much time, let's get started with the question. Today's question, there is a cylindrical drum which is 1.5 meters long and 60 centimeters in diameter. It weighs 25.5 kilograms when empty. This drum is then filled with 350 liters of lube oil at a relative density of 0.78. So the density of the lube oil is 0.78. Assuming that the cylinder floats with its axis perpendicular to the surface of the water, we have to find the following. First, we have to find the draft of the drum if floating in water of density 1.015 tons per metric cube. And we also have to find the reserve buoyancy, of course, which is the topic for today's video. And you have to find the reserve buoyancy of the water in the same density. So reserve buoyancy of not the water, but of the drum. All right. So in the water of the same density. So we have to find the reserve buoyancy of the drum in the water of the same density, that is 1.015 tons per metric cube. Before I start with this question, I want to tell you guys that any question that you attempt in ship stability, make sure that before you start, make a note of the units. For example, here the length is described in meters, diameter also being length is also described in centimeters. Similarly, the weight is described in kilograms. There is also liters. This is not weight, it is kind of a volume. I'll explain it later. And the density is 0.78, but there is also tons, there is also metric cube. So there are all these different units. And you have to make sure that you stick to one set of units when you are solving this question. So that means you have to convert it into the unit of your choice. All right, and keep things simple. So as we go along, I will show you how to do it. So let's get started. But before we get started, the second thing in ship stability is you should be able to draw and understand what is conceptually happening here. All right, so what I'll do is I'll try to draw a cylinder. And in this cylinder, let's say this is a cylinder here, and then we have a cylindrical circular base here. So a cylinder has, of course, a circular bases, right? Now it is floating with its axis perpendicular. So let's say I'll draw the water line with the blue color. All right, so that gives it a water line. So then this becomes the draft of the vessel, or draft of the cylinder. I keep saying vessel, but it's a cylindrical vessel, let's say. All right, the diameter is given as 60 centimeters. But what I'll do is, because the length is in meters, I will convert this into meters as well. So I'll divide it by 100, and this gives me 0.60 meters. What is this? This is the diameter of the cylinder. All right, and then of course we have the length of the cylinder. So the length of the cylinder is equal to 1.5 meter. So I'm keeping the lengths in meters. That is what I'm trying to do here. All right, so it is floating with its axis perpendicular because this is the axis. So the axis is perpendicular. It's perpendicular to the water line. That's a 90-degree angle, right? So this is what is generally happening. So what do we do about this now? All right, so as we go along, I'll try to explain what is actually happening in the question. Now the first thing is that we have density of lube oil given to us, which is the relative density of lube oil. So we have to first find out what is the weight of the lube oil I have loaded in the drum. So I know the weight of the empty drum is 25.5 kilogram. Right? If I can find out the weight of the oil loaded in it, then I can add the two together and find the total weight of the drum when filled with lube oil. That is the purpose initially. So density of lube oil is given to me as 0.78. There is no units. But I have to convert this into kilograms per metric cube to keep everything same. right? So what I will do is I have to find out how I can do that. All right. So how will I do that? Now let's say this is relative density. All right. So relative density means density when compared to fresh water. So I can say that if 1 metric cube of fresh water weighs 1000 kilograms, which is also equivalent to 1000 liters. Now you might say, why is this? So let's understand it, why it is like that. So let's say density, the formula of density is mass over volume. You all know that the density of fresh water is 1, right? So 1 what? 1 ton per metric cube. So we have 1 here, we have mass here, and we are saying that this is ton per metric cube of density. Mass I don't know, and let's say this is 1 metric cube of fresh water. So relative density is what? When density of any substance is compared to 1 metric cube of fresh water. That's what I'm trying to establish here, the relationship between relative density and how you can convert the relative density into kilogram. So how can I find the mass of 1 metric cube of fresh water? So mass will be equal to 1 by 1, which is equal to what? 1 ton, or 1000 kilograms, because 1 ton is equal to 1000 kilograms. So that's why I said 1 metric cube of fresh water weighs 1000 kilograms, which is equal to 1000 liters. So if density of lube oil is given to me as 0.78, then if I want to convert density into kilograms per metric cube, all I have to do is take that 0.78 and then multiply it by 1000, because relative density is in comparison to 1 metric cube of fresh water. So this will give me 780 kilogram per metric cube, and this is density of lube oil. All right. Now I have got the density of lube oil in kilogram per metric cube. Now what has happened here is that lube oil has been filled into the drum, right? So what I'll do is I'll just use a different color pen here. Let's use green. So I have filled lube oil into the drum here. Let's call it lube oil. All right. Now how much of the lube oil has been filled? 350 liters. So when I fill in the lube oil, this lube oil is occupying the volume of the cylinder, 350 liters. So it kind of becomes the volume of the lube oil, right? Filling the drum. So if I now have to find the weight of the lube oil, what will I do? So mass of lube oil will be equal to volume times density. This is density, right? This formula comes from this formula here. Density equals mass by volume. So mass will be equal to density by volume, right? So mass of lube oil loaded into the cylinder is equal to the volume of the lube oil, which is 350 multiplied by 780. Now this 350 is liters and this 780 is kilogram per metric cube. So I cannot use this liters, right? So as soon as I write this, that's why I said you have to be very aware of the units. I'll have to remove this. I have to make sure my liters is converted into kilograms as well. So how can I do that? So like I told you before, the relationship is 1 metric cube of fresh water equals 1000 kilograms, which is equivalent to 1000 liters. So if I have to convert 350 liters, what will I do? 350 divided by 1000, which is give a equivalent weight in kilograms, right? And that's why mass of lube oil will be, so this is 350 liters, so I'm just converting it into 350 divided by 1000, which is equal to 0.35. All right, so this 0.35 is no longer in liters. Remember, it is equivalent to the volume, which is in now metric cube. All right, so 1.35 metric cube. All right, so we have 0.35 into density, which is 780. So what have I done? I have kept everything in either kg and metric cube. All right, so mass of the lube oil will be equal to 0.35 multiplied by 780, which is equal to 273 kilogram. All right. Now once I've got that, we have weight of empty drum, which is equal to 25.5 kilogram. Again, both are in kilograms, so I can add them together. So total weight is equal to 298.5 kilograms. That is the total weight of the drum when lube oil is loaded. Alright. Now total weight also equals to displacement. What is displacement? Displacement is the total weight of the drum in this case. Alright, we use it for ships. So how is displacement denoted? Displacement is denoted with a triangle. So displacement equals underwater volume multiplied by density. Alright, we call it density. This is the symbol for density. Now this cylinder, if you think about it, when I load the lube oil in it, the underwater volume, the volume of the cylinder under the volume multiplied by the density in which it is floating will give us the total displacement of the cylinder, total weight of the cylinder, right? So in this case, we already know the total displacement after the lube oil has been loaded, which is 298.5, but it is in kilograms. All right. Underwater volume, we don't know, so we'll keep it as underwater volume. And what is the density? 1.015, but what? Tons per metric cube. Now here one is in tons, the other is in kilograms. So we have to make sure that one of them is converted into, let's say the density is converted into kilograms as well. So how can I convert 1.015 tons per metric cube into kilograms? Is by multiplying 1000 by 1000. It becomes 1015 kilogram per metric cube. All right. So I have to either keep the units, all units in tons, or I have to keep all units in kilograms. One unit only. So I have stuck to kilograms here. So what I will do is 298.5 kilograms equals underwater volume. This is underwater volume of the cylinder, all right, multiplied by 1015. So underwater volume in this case of the cylinder becomes 298.5 divided by 1015, which is equal to how much? If I put this value in the calculator, I get 0.249 metric cube. This is the underwater volume, all right, of the drum when the lube oil is already filled in it. Now underwater volume or volume of a cylinder is also equal to pi r square by draft. All right, pi r square by draft. So if the underwater volume you say is 0.249, pi is 22.7. What is r? R is the radius. Radius is what? Half of the diameter. So 60 by 2. So remember 0.6 was the diameter. Remember here in the cylinder we said this is 0.6 is the diameter. Radius will be half of the diameter. So 0.6 by 2 square multiplied by draft is what we have to find out. Right. So in this case draft will be equal to 0.249. Just let me see if I have got the calculations all correct. I have got 298.5 divided by 1015, which is equal to 0.294. So this is 2.294. So not 249. All right. So just in case you guys are getting confused, 0.294. So we've got, sometimes I do mix up the numbers. Here you go. And then, so sorry about any confusion if I caused any, but you should be doing the calculation right. 0.294, and I've got 22.7 here, I've got 0.3 square here. All right, so the draft I get is 1.039 meters. Right, so I've got the draft. Now how does this help me to calculate reserve buoyancy? Because now that I have got the draft, I know that out of 1.5 meters, this is 1.039 meters. All right. So 0.294. So, right. So 1.039 meters. So this remaining height of the cylinder is what gives me the reserve buoyancy. And because this is an empty space, so there is no water ingress here, that will give me the reserve buoyancy. That will give me the air pockets, right? So the remaining length will be what? 1.5 minus 1.039, which is equal to 0.461 meters, right? So this is the length remaining above the surface, correct? So what is 0.461? So if you think about it, 0.461 out of the total length 1.5 meters, that will give me the reserve buoyancy. So if I calculate part B, and I will use a different pen to do so this time. So length above water line will be total length, which is equal to 1.5 meters minus 1.039 meters, which is the draft, right? Which gives me 0.461. So 0.461 out of what? Out of 1.5, which is the total length, divided by 100, will give you 30.73%. So the reserve buoyancy is 30.73%. Now remember, reserve buoyancy is given as a percentage of the total volume. So out of the total volume, 30.73% is the reserve buoyancy of the drum when filled with lube oil. It's that simple. Alright, but to get to that, you have to do some calculations. But I intentionally took up these questions because in ship stability, often different units are used, and that confuses the students. So you can choose one for weight, choose one for the lengths, and stick to that. So ideally try to stick to metric cube for lengths, and with weight, of course, you can vary between kilograms and tons, whatever comes easy to you. But see what most of the units are given in, and then try to stick to that unit so that it's easy for you to go along with that. Alright, so basically what it means is 30.73% of the total volume of the cylinder is reserved for buoyancy. It gives you an additional buoyancy. It gives an additional air pocket. Alright, so that is the purpose of reserve buoyancy, to calculate how much air pocket or how much reserve buoyancy you have in case the ship starts to sink. That will give you the flotation. So guys, the video is already very long. I'm sure you are bored and maybe confused as well, but let me know if you have any questions. The idea here was to just show you how to calculate reserve buoyancy and also to how to approach ship stability questions. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate all the comments and feedback that I get. Sometimes I can respond to it quickly, and sometimes I don't. I get hundreds of questions in a day. It's not possible for me to make these videos and respond to all your questions, but I try my best.